steamy hot assholes.
Steamy hot assholes.
Oh, God.
I'm really bent over. I shouldn't say that after steamy hot assholes.
Oh. You didn't have those chicken enchiladas.
Oh, well, we made it to another minisode.
Another one.
Another one.
Last week's was messy.
Last week's what? Holy shit! Last week. This week's messy. Last week was messy.
Do you need to do your scale thing?
Yeah, yeah.
What's the scale? What
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do.
No, not that one, you dumbass. The one for your R's.
Red leather, yellow leather.
Is that it?
No, I had to say Ron ran around the world and shit like that. Yeah. Ron ran around the world.
We could.
Cheeseburger.
We could do that next week if we remember. I have a feeling we're gonna forget though.
We're gonna forget. Yeah. We'll figure out a good scales thing. We'll figure out a good like check if we're hot thing. We'll all be like, man. Yeah. So we're here.
Hi.
Hi, we're here. If you guys are, just tuning in, which is, ridiculous because.
Why would you come in the middle?
Why would you come in the middle?
What the hell? Why are you
That
me?
even happened?
Why are you me?
Yeah, exactly. Impatient, so you skip towards where you hear people talking about what you think you want them to be talking about. You just skip forward. We'll put on a podcast, and Sam will literally skip 45 minutes into the middle of it. Like. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, well, I guess we're not going to listen to the first 45 minutes of this one, but...
I put it at 2 times the speed.
Yeah. She listens to podcasts very aggressively.
She speed runs everything.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I am a speed reader, so maybe that's why I like to speed listen.
So we've had some... we've had some good stories here in these last couple of weeks. We've actually had a couple of... submissions as well. So, if you guys are out there and you want to submit some stories to us, you can do so at contact@everyonesuckshere.com.
Or, maybe if you have a suggestion for what we should be reading off of Reddit.
Yeah.
Definitely send that in too.
You can tweet it at us, so like ESH Podcast too. You guys could go browse Reddit and then you could send us stories and we could be like,
see what we think.
Yeah, we could read them live for you. But so before we read some, since it's a mini-sode here, before we read this Am I the Asshole and this relationships that Sam's got set up for us, we had a quick little story, another Karen's Corner story.
God.
If you guys remember a couple of weeks back, we actually might have been last week. I don't know, because all time blends
is a
together.
Flat circle.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's going on.
What day is it?
Who knows? You could tell me it's February. I'd be like, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
To me, it's mentally still March.
Yeah.
So I don't even know. But we talked about this going to get coffee at this small little shop that like had a one-way entrance, and so we had another similar situation a couple of days ago. We were out to go get some food. And there's a place around here called Burgerville. It's just a little fast food burger place. It's better than like your normal typical bullshit like McDonald's or something. So it's like, okay, well, if you're gonna get fast food, at least go for not complete and utter trash.
Okay.
So we're driving down to Burgerville. Now, Sushie, I want you to imagine this intersection for me here. It's pretty simple. We come up to a light. It's a 4-way intersection.
Okay.
Across the street and to the right. Am
I gonna get tested on this?
You are. We're gonna.
God damn it!
Yeah.
You know I failed my road test, right?
Oh shit. Well, it's okay. This is how you're gonna pass.
Okay. 4-way intersection. Let's go.
4-way intersection, in front of you and to the right. So basically, if you crossed over the intersection, went right at the corner there, that's where Burgerville's at. So we're coming up right, and I'm like, hey, should I just turn right here to go in? And Sam's like, no, you should go straight, because if we turned right, that means we'd have to turn left to get into Burgerville. And that means we have to cross over the road, so like, because it's on the other side. So we turn right. If we turn right at the intersection, we could turn left immediately into Burgerville, but there's cars coming. So we're like, that's a good idea. Let's go straight and we'll go around the block. And that way we can just turn right into Burgerville. Simple.
Okay.
Efficient. Makes sense. So we go straight through this intersection. I take a right. I go around the Burgerville building. I take another right. So it's all right turns to get in the building now. And I'm lined up And here we are on the road with Burgerville. All I got to do is turn right to go in. And we see a car trying to turn left to go in. And we're like, wow, glad we didn't do that. That could have been us. You know, that's exactly what Sam was saying, is like, hey, don't do that. So perfect. Like, yeah, we're on it. Now, the line is backed up into the fucking street. That's how bad people want Burgerville, right? It is. I don't know what it is. If it's just the time of day, if it's the pandemic, if it's because everything's on fire and people are fleeing to Burgerville. I don't know. But people really wanted this fucking
Comes the free
Burgerville.
handy? I don't know.
It might. A nice ashy
around?
handy from fucking Oregon. So, Sushie's face. So we're sitting here, and my only option is, like, it moves forward a little bit. My only option is to turn in. I have to turn in. Because if I let this woman in, then she's going to be sticking out in the street, and I'm going to be sticking out in the street, and everybody behind us can't get to the light at this point.
Yeah.
Because it's in the street.
And it's just, and it's just like one lane and one lane.
Yeah, it's just one lane going one way and one lane going the other way.
Yeah.
So
I everybody's going to be backed up.
Literally could not let her in. So I turn in, and I'm sitting there, and she fucking honks. And you guys know, like when we talked about this last time, about these fucking people who honk. And we're like, okay, well, what the fuck did you want us to do, right? So we're sitting there, and we're in our little spot, and we're cruising forward, and this fucking bitch comes flying in to the left of us. And she is now
blocking the
exit
again,
just like that other one. So she looks over at me, and I know that this is a recording, so nobody can really see this, but I'll just mirror it to Sushie so she knows. But she does that, like, very, like I'm going in there kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, she mouths it.
She mouths it, but she does this, like, that head nod.
That attitude
head nod.
Like she's telling you where she's going to go.
She's saying she's going to cut me off and go in. And I look over, and I look over at Sam, and I'm like, should I let her in? Because now if she came up and if she looked at me and she did that in a different way, if she's like, hey, can I get in there? If she did it in a very, like, do you mind? I would be, okay, whatever, go on in, you know? But it was I'm doing it that triggered me. That pissed me the fuck off. I'm like, there's a difference in how you go about this, right? She could have come up and she could have just been like, hey, can I get in there? And because I understand.
But I get what you're saying, but it's obnoxious either way. There's a line, wait in line like the rest of us. Why do you think you're more important?
I know, and I agree.
Like,
I'm just saying. I'm just letting you know where my threshold is, basically. Yeah. So I totally agree with you. But I'm like, is it worth the argument at that point? That's where I was kind of mentally. But because she did that, I shot past that threshold.
Right.
So and Sam's like, she's like, oh, you know, she looks like she got a kid in there. I'm like,
so what actually happened was AJ was like, should I roll my window down and say something? And I looked in the back seat and I saw a toddler, and I was like, no, just. Don't.
I didn't say. I think you thought. I didn't say that. No, I was literally saying, should I let her in?
Okay, well then I heard, should I say something? Yeah, that's the only reason.
I'm not the kind of person who's just going to immediately say some shit.
That's the only reason why I was like, don't do anything. She's got a baby.
So here's the thing. She starts edging forward, and I'm like, you know what, fuck it. So I scoot forward because I'm already in the drive-through lane. She's in the exit.
She has to turn her wheel to get into the car.
And keep in mind, there's already people behind us who have already come in behind us too, naturally where they belong, you know? So it's not like we're the only ones who, quote, cut her off. And so she rolls down her window, so I roll down my window, and she goes, you cut me off. And I'm like, no, excuse me? Like, first of all, do you know how left and right turns work? Like, if you're turning left, you fucking yield, right? And she makes the mistake of going, if you hit me, I'm calling the cops.
So very important here is that she got so close to our car that she did almost hit us.
She was
gunning.
I did take a video of it. Maybe I'll put that video, just that part. Just that part, I'll put that on the Instagram so people can see what we're talking about. Just that part of the video. So like, I'm already prepared for this. I'm like, but when she said, if you hit me, I'll call the cops, that like opened up the fury of both of us at the same time. Yeah. We both just like Sam's fucking yelling at her, and she's like, do you want to start a fucking accident right now? Do you want to cause a problem in this fucking pandemic? And I'm like,
I know. I screamed, "Are you really gonna do this in front of your kids?"
Yeah. And then I fucking scream at her. I'm like, do you not know how fucking left turns work, you goddamn fucking bitch? Like, I was like, you yield to us. I was like, I turned right. You yield to me. You know, like, and so there's the collective fury of both of us coming down on this fucking woman. And like, obviously we're yelling how like we actually yell and not like how we're doing here, you know, like we're fucking, and she kind of like gets this like, oh, and starts rolling her window up, and I'm just kind of keep going, yeah, fucking roll your window up, you know, like just, and so she eventually realizes she's not getting in, so she pulls off, goes into the parking spot, and then she gets on her phone, but then she makes her fucking kid, she's got 2 kids, one's in the front seat, one's in the back, the one in the front seat looks like to be a teenager, she makes her kid get out in the fucking, in this pandemic air, all this, put on a mask, and walk up to the door.
To order food.
To order a food. The catcher with a broken leg. Her daughter has a broken leg.
Like a cast on and
full
stuff.
Full on, all the way up to the hip. Hobbling up.
All the way up to their thigh?
All the way up. Yes.
Hobbling to the door that's closed because the fast food restaurant lobbies are closed.
This dumb fucking Karen bitch sent her daughter up with her broken leg to try to go inside and get food. And it was, so we're sitting there and we're like, we're going through the drive-through and we're pretty sure she was trying to call the cops, but at the same time, it's like, what are you going to explain to them? That
nothing happened.
Yeah. Are you going to...
So, officer, there was no accident and nothing happened.
Yeah.
Please come send assistance.
Yeah.
What?
Officer, I drove into the exit and they won't let me over. Like, you know, like, I drove... Like, that's like that's like
how dare they
driving onto a one-way street going the wrong way. I'm like, I drove the wrong way on this one-way street and they won't let me pass. They're like, well, no shit, you're on a one-way street, you're on the exit, like, what the fuck, you know?
What do you want?
We go through, we get our food, you know, and we pull out and she's still there, and kind of look over at her. We got our food and we're like, all right, we got our food and drive on home. But God, we were so angry. I'm literally calling up like any one of my friends just so we can literally yell at somebody to like vent our fucking frustrations out. Like I went through like 3 people to fucking just, you gotta hear this fucking story. If we had experience, you have to fucking hear it. So we just fucking spew it out. And then I was like, I literally said, like, but we can't. I was like, we can't tell Sushie yet. We have to save that one for the podcast.
I know. Just don't call me. I'm like, why didn't you call me? My phone's real dry these days.
Like, we gotta save that one for the cast.
I have my number. What's going on?
I think the fact that we had that one experience at the coffee place, and then, you know, on our way to Burgerville, we actually had a dude like drift into our lane, and AJ had to honk his horn too because this dude just, you know, came right on over and almost hit us. So it was like that just all encompass of what the fuck is going on? Why doesn't anyone ever fucking pay attention?
It's like I don't understand. Like, you know, I don't know. Like, now there's a lot of shitty Oregon drivers here, but there's also a lot of shitty California drivers up here. Like, every time I see a California license plate, I'm like, oh, they're gonna be fucking trash.
They're like driving on the opposite side of the road.
They're fucking all over the place. So it is just like, you know, holy shit. I had to share the second coming of Karen.
Okay.
God.
I get that.
But yeah, so even though, you
anyone who like threatens to call the cops, I'm already done with them. I'm done.
And that's just it. We were both like, fucking do it. Fuck, call them.
I know.
We both like, fucking call the cops.
Like, you're gonna get a ticket, dummy, because you went in through the fucking exit.
Especially because I got your shit recorded. You know, like I got everything. I'm not gonna show it. I got her license plate and everything. But I was like, oh look, this bitch drives for fucking Lyft.
I was about to say the kicker here.
Yeah. She had a Lyft.
She drives for Lyft.
You know, and I'm like, I got all your fucking shit, girl. Like, I didn't do anything with that. I'm not going to, but it's that kind of shit. Like, you really want to go down this fucking avenue just because you were fucking a little impatient? Because
and you didn't want to wait like the rest of us?
Yeah. And the thing is,
you're so important.
We at least had the forethought to go around the building so we could turn right to go in, so we wouldn't be her.
That's the part that really makes me so angry is like, okay, if somebody lets you in like that, that's them being nice and letting you
But you're
get in
not
line.
entitled to that.
But you're not entitled to that because you have to cross traffic to get in.
And that's just it.
You don't have the right of way.
I want to let people know, I typically let people over. I typically let people in. I'm fine. I don't really give a shit. I'm not like the aggressive type who's like, oh, no, this is my road. But I literally couldn't let her in. If I did that, the whole road gets blocked up because there's an intersection right there. And now nobody can go either way. And nobody would be able to go either way until that whole drive-through, until a car can leave.
That's dangerous. Like, you're going to cause an accident.
Exactly.
For a fucking cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like, you made this choice. You have to wait. That's what happens. So...
Yeah. And just to reiterate just how much AJ is not the aggressor here when driving, like, this motherfucker, he'll drive like 5 fucking kilometers under the speed limit. Like, so many times I've looked over and seen like many cars backed up behind us because he's just steadily driving the exact speed limit. And I'm like,
I don't drive under the speed limit, but I drive the speed limit, and that's because I've literally gotten too many speeding tickets when I was younger.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm not risking that shit anymore. It's not worth it because like literally like when I was in my fucking early 20s and shit, I'd get speeding tickets, and it's like, oh cool, $300 speeding ticket for what? Getting there not at the same fucking time? Because especially in an area like this, right? It cracks me up whenever I see anybody speeding and they're not on the highway because they're still gonna come to a red light and I'm gonna come up right beside them anyway. Like the only time like speeding ever helps you get anywhere is if it's a long stretch of highway and there's nothing there. That's the only time. Driving 80 versus driving 65 on the highway doesn't even make a sense going exit to exit because like you're still going to get to that exit at the same time. Like they have to wait at the end of the exit anyway. It's like, so I don't really risk it anymore. So I just typically drive the speed limit.
What was the worst like speed thingy that you got? Like not money wise, but like, like speed wise.
Oh, probably like I think like 80 and a 55.
Jesus Christ.
Because it was in the middle of nowhere, long stretch of road. It's like a country highway, but the speed limit it's because it's not interstate. It wasn't 65.
Yeah.
But everybody is literally going 80.
Yeah.
And it was just like one of those things. So.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. But why don't you tell us about your asshole, Sam?
I love how we're talking about all this car stuff, and Sushi's like, I walk everywhere.
Yeah. I take a subway.
This one time, somebody fell on the track, and I was late for work. Like,
one time, I was trying to go to brunch in the city, and I was waiting for not the subway, but like the regular Long Island Railroad because it was quicker, and I was wearing a big like brunch hat, you know, like I was wearing like I'm feeling myself hat, and I immediately got taken down a peg because the wind kicked up. So it was like a weird tunnely situation. The wind kicked up, yeeted my beautiful hat into the tracks, and I was like, well, that's what I get for trying to be cute. That's what I get. It's gone. It's gone forever.
One of those tunnel people got a brand new hat.
Right?
Brand new hat. It literally was brand new. I didn't even wear it. I bought it from H&M. It wasn't like super expensive or anything, but I bought it from H&M, and that was going to be my debut of my brunch hat. I had a pencil skirt on. I was like, I'm cute. Ew. Nope.
No.
Nope.
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 Wind said otherwise.
Wind said otherwise, yeah.
The wind was like, I'm going to take you down a peg. I'm going to humble you. I'm going to humble you, ma'am. You think you're too cute today.
So speaking of too cute, I got one with cat tax here for my asshole.
Let's hear it.
Okay. Was a sentence.
For my am I the asshole here. Okay. Right. So this will lead into it. I'm assuming we're ready.
Yeah.
All right. Am I the asshole for getting my neighbor's partner arrested? Okay. About a week ago, my cat got out and went missing for a few days. I was heartbroken. I put his litter box outside, hung flyers everywhere, and literally cried nonstop. It was bad. Then I noticed someone was taking down my flyers. This made me really upset, so I started knocking on people's doors. One neighbor told me that she overheard her neighbor's kid excitedly thanking his mom for a new cat. And when I walked up their driveway, what do you know? My cat was sitting in their windowsill. He immediately started pawing at the glass when he saw me, and it broke my heart. I knocked on the front door to explain to the lady that answered that this was my cat. He's chipped and everything, so I have proof he's mine. She literally laughed in my face and slammed the door. I knocked again, and this time a huge dude answered and told me, "This is my son's cat, now go away," and slammed the door in my face. I went home and bawled like a baby. I called my dad, he's the county sheriff, to tell him what happened and to ask what I should do. He told me to stay home and that he would send over a deputy to take care of it. Well, apparently the deputy let it slip that I was the county sheriff's daughter, and now the catnapper lady is telling everyone in the neighborhood I'm a spoiled brat who went crying to her daddy. But the thing is, I would have called the cops regardless. The only reason I called my dad first is because I was bawling and I didn't want to sob on the phone to a stranger if I could avoid it. Plus, I wanted his advice on how to get my cat back. Apparently, the kid's dad also went to jail because the deputy ran his plates and saw he had a warrant. So this woman is also telling everyone I got her partner arrested too. But how was I supposed to know the guy had a freaking warrant? I just wanted my cat back. Am I the asshole?
Think so.
And
I feel they are not the asshole.
Edited for cat tax.
Yeah. I understand this story. I see what, I don't know. In this case, I feel like cop calling is not an issue.
So, like,
how do you steal someone's pet and you're like, see ya, sucker?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
aw, that's a cute cat.
That's a pretty cute cat.
That's a pretty kitty.
So it's like, what was it, a yellow tabby?
An orange tabby. Orange tabby, yeah.
Yeah,
it's definitely a type of cat. Hopefully we'll post this picture.
Yeah.
It's a type of cat like you'll know that's your cat.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah.
It's not like one that just looks like every other cat. No. I would be like, if that was my cat, I'd be like, that's my cat, you dumb bitch.
Yeah. So here's my thing. If you know you got a warrant out for your arrest, why are you gonna be a dick?
Why are you thieving other people's animals?
Why are you stealing shit?
Because people who have warrants out for their arrest typically are fucking stupid anyway. Like they have a warrant out for their arrest because they don't think.
Yeah.
So
Fair.
Yeah.
Well, so the funny thing is when you read that last line, I misheard it because it said like you said the kid's dad went to jail. All I heard was the kid went to jail, and I was like, damn, this kid got a warrant out for his arrest, but his mom's like, this is my kid's cat. Like I was like, how old is his son?
It's like my 12-year-old's in the clink. Yeah. Jeez.
No, definitely not the asshole. It's kind of one of those things. Like I always wonder, is it too much or is it too weird of a flex? Like if you have that relationship of somebody in law enforcement to use them, and to call and to like that be like your fucking thing you can do. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, if I was in that exact same situation, I'm trying to get my fucking animal back. And it's like, I could either call the cops or I could just call my connection into the cops.
Yeah.
It makes the most sense to call the fucking connection you have. Like,
well, not only that,
right.
It is her dad, and I'm assuming, she was upset too, so she just, like she said, she
wanted to talk to her dad.
Yeah, she wanted to talk to her dad, and she knew she was going to start crying, and she didn't want to cry in front of a stranger, which is,
I think that's understandable also.
I will say this, though. Fuck the deputy for telling this woman that the daughter is related to the sheriff.
Yeah,
that is not information.
Sucks. That sucks.
That is not information that she needs to know, that he should have let slip. That
not at all.
It's none of her fucking business.
Their living relationship as neighbors will always be like, it was never going to be great, but now that they know that she is related to the sheriff, it's going to be terrible. Yeah, they shouldn't, for her own safety, they shouldn't have said anything.
She shouldn't have said anything, or he shouldn't have said anything, and that was a dumb fucking move on his part, but that's not her fault.
I agree.
Yeah. So
right.
It does have a happy ending in the sense that she did get her cat back. The deputy brought him back, and so cat. I don't know what the cat's name is, but pretty kitty got returned home.
I could never imagine, like, even if your intentions were to be like, I'm gonna steal this cat, I could never imagine like slamming the door in someone's face and being like, see ya, sucker. I would at least come up with a line, be like, oh, I'm sorry, I thought it was lost. I was just trying to like make sure it was okay. Like, I don't know. That's wild to me. Stealing someone's pet.
So much drama over a cat that's not yours.
A couple of years ago, probably like 5-6 years ago. Actually, no, more than that. Fuck. What is time? 8 years ago. You know, at one point, I had a dog that went missing. Jumped the fence. It was a white American Husky. Jumped the fence. It was around Christmas time, actually. Was gone for like 2.5 weeks. And, you know, when a dog goes missing, you're like, well, I mean, fuck. Like, you know, like, cats at least have like the sense, like they have like that built-in radar, so you're like, oh, they might come back. Like I've had cats go missing for like a week or so, but they know their way home. Dogs are
definitely smarter than dogs.
Yeah, they're fucking half the time they just get on a smell and go.
Yeah.
Or somebody just takes them, which is exactly what happened. I was driving around the neighborhood and I saw this dog chained up outside in the rain. And yeah, it was the dog. Literally chained up outside, and it was like a chain. Like, and I went and it was a fucking like it was a trailer like a double wides. It's like a double wide.
How far away was this from where you live?
It was at the time. It was probably only like maybe 2 or 3 miles away. It wasn't far, but it's like up a hill that like there's no point of ever driving up there unless you're like there's a neighborhood up there. You know, you don't go there unless you live there. Yeah. But I was like on a whim, just driving around looking for this fucking dog. And yeah, so sure enough, saw it there, went up, knocked on the door, and the dude who like answered, like just kind of looked at me like I was an idiot. I was like, that's literally my dog, you know, and he didn't really say anything. And I don't know, I was like, I'm taking the dog. Like, and sure enough, I went over and unchained it and took the dog and put it in the car and drove away.
You're brave, dude. Oh my God.
Well, that's just it. I'm like, I'm not gonna let somebody fucking steal the dog, but like, it's one of those things, like that's the only time I've ever had something where like I've had an animal and then somebody else took it. Yeah. But I had been the one that took an animal, not knowing, and and we gave it back. It was a cat, actually. At my, I was real young. It's like my stepdad's apartments or whatever. And there was a cat that used to always come and hang out with me and my sister like every single day. And like we fell in love with this cat. Like we hung out like all summer with it. We named it Cookie, and it's like cute little cat and everything. And then like towards the end of the summer, we find out that there's a girl who's missing her cat Tiger. And so we had to give it back. Like my mom was like, we have to give this cat back. So like that was the only time that like we've ever had a cat. But it's like we didn't like. Obviously, I was upset, but like my parents were like, it's literally not our cat. Yeah. So we need to give it back. And
so with the dog, right? And you just unhooked it and brought it home, and there was no. The guy didn't fight back or anything. Like,
I mean, what was he gonna do? I mean,
he could have done anything.
He could have done something, but yeah, no.
Stab you, I don't know, shoot you.
Didn't do anything. Yeah, I mean, that's literally the end of it. That's all that happened. Is just like unhooked it and left.
That's crazy. Because I would have been like, all right, so this guy's gonna stab me. And he's gonna kidnap
me too. I'm like, this guy is gonna take a shotgun out.
This fucking dog.
Yeah, I'm just concerned. No, like you're brave, because I don't know, man.
Not for the podcast, but I'll tell you guys a story later on about how I walked into a drug den looking for somebody, and I insisted that they were probably there. And I walked into a stranger's house in the middle of downtown Columbus looking for somebody. Tell you that, guys. Tell you that story. Not on the cast.
The Wild Adventures of AJ. Wow.
Yeah, that was
very close to death.
I was about 24 at that time. Listen, I was back in my early 20s. I was like, you know what? Whatever happens.
If
happens.
I die.
Exactly. So.
I mean, you're kind of like that now. Let's be honest.
If you're gonna kill me, just kill me. You know.
How many times have you wanted to yell at neighbors, and I'm like, but he knows where we live, and he might stab us. Like it always comes back to stabbing. Right. It's always full circle to stab. He might stab us.
I really do think that's like the big difference between like men and women, and I don't mean like men and women are like, oh, one more brave. I mean like literally the privilege is half the time I just don't really think like that because I've never really had like, I mean, I'll think about like enough to like not like fuck with random strangers that seem shady, and I can assess if somebody feels shady to me. But obviously, I'm not a woman, so like you guys have that like hypersensitivity.
Every dude is shady.
Yeah, exactly. The hyper or not hypersensitivity.
Every single one. I'm like, why are you coming up to me, sir? What do you want?
Yeah. Hyper aware is the word I want to use. Yeah. So like, I think it's just like that big difference of like, and as I've gotten older, I feel like I've gotten more aware. but like I don't think it's ever going to be the same match or the same level, as like everybody's into me.
I think it's also the way Sam and I grew up. I think we've seen some shit,
I mean, I've literally had a man pull a knife on me while I was walking to the store.
Yeah.
And he was in a car, and he was like, "Get in my car," and I'm like, "No." And he's like, "I have a knife," and I'm like, well, "You're in a car."
How about no? That's not a compelling argument.
How about,
sir?
Nah, I'm good. Like,
right.
What the fuck?
Right.
Yeah.
So, have you ever had a knife pulled on you?
I don't know. I don't know.
If I did, it wasn't memorable. If you keep doing this shit, it's gonna happen.
Well, why don't you tell us about your relationships and see if we got any more stories to relate to?
I don't think we have enough time for that. But we do have time for this relationship from Reddit.
Let's hear it. Not your relationships. Yeah.
I know. Yeah. All right. Don't look at me like that, Sushi.
I love that you knew.
Okay. I love this title. My sugar daddy is extremely cheap and I want to break up with him.
So I take everything back I said about men and women. Reversing it all.
Okay, so this one's pretty short. I met my sugar daddy boyfriend on Seeking Arrangements. I made it clear that I wanted a man to spoil and date me. Quote, I'm marriage-minded, or in parentheses, I'm marriage-minded. He agreed on these terms in the beginning. We've been dating for a year now, and he's extremely cheap. I end up buying my own stuff because he won't. Grammar, okay.
Just read it how it is.
He's owned multiple businesses, but he never spoils me. Whenever I want something, like a handbag for $100, he says no. He can buy himself whatever, but it's always a no for me. He even brags about the luxury items he bought his previous girlfriends, but I'm not good enough. I know you might be thinking, why don't you use your own money? That's not the relationship we agreed on. He's supposed to buy me things. If I knew he was going to be a cheap liar, I wouldn't have entered into a relationship with him. I want to break up, but what's the nicest way to do it?
There's no, just be like, you suck, dude, bye. Like,
I think both of these people suck. But, like, at the same time.
They both suck, but that was their arrangement.
That's what I was going to say. Like, exactly. I think they both suck, but, like, they entered into this arrangement. Like, you can't willingly enter into something and then be like, well, I don't know now. Like, well, you agreed to it to begin with. So,
he just wants, like, a girlfriend, and that's okay, but don't lie about it and say, I want to be a sugar daddy, because you're not sugaring anybody.
Yo, you're not sugar daddying nobody when you're not buying nothing. You're not a sugar daddy anymore. You're just lame boyfriend that nobody wants.
So also, like, who the fuck talks about, like, all the things they bought their ex? Like, that's fucking weird.
Yeah.
That's fucking, oh yeah, I used to buy this ex, like, fucking okay, why are you telling me that?
I've seen television shows about that. 90 Day Fiance.
I love that fucking show, man.
God.
Yeah, so I mean, that's just it. Like, just fucking do it. Like, she's open enough that she's willing to literally say that she wants a sugar daddy. So she's that forthcoming that to say that she wants that, but she doesn't want to fucking break up with somebody. Just fucking do it. Like,
yeah, that's a little odd that she would be I guess self-aware to be able to say, hey, I guess this isn't a normal thing that girls say that they want, but like, hey, this is what I want. I want to be spoiled. I want you to buy me things. And he's like, oh yeah, I got you. And then she's like, all right, give me that handbag. And he's like,
right. Like,
I'd rather have a dartboard for my movie theater. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so you just have like a girlfriend, which is fine if you guys agreed upon that.
But they didn't agree upon that. Yeah.
So then you wasted,
dump them. You wasted a year of your life, and now you're fucking mad. Oh. So basically someone said, girl, so he wasn't even a sugar daddy from the start and you kept it around for a year. First of all, it sounds like he lied about being a sugar daddy and you don't owe him anything in return since he hasn't been doing what you agreed. So why are you so worried about ending it in a nice way? He's just a sugar daddy, not a boyfriend or a husband. If I were you, I'd just ghost him. And she replied, we live together. I've met his entire family. What scenario in which there's a sugar daddy, sugar baby incident that like you meet his entire fucking family?
Keep going.
It's a sugar daddy girlfriend entanglement. I kept him around because I do love him. He's more of a boyfriend than a sugar daddy. He brags about the gifts he bought his other girlfriends, but he won't do the same for me.
I feel like the more we hear about this, I feel like she's also just as much to fucking blame for this. Like, she put herself in the situation, like, if she wanted something and he's like, do you want to come meet my family? She's like, no, that's not this kind of relationship. You know, like,
I want you to buy me a car.
Yeah, like, so, and if she loves him, you can't. Okay.
Why did she live with her sugar daddy?
Yeah.
That's because she says he's more of a boyfriend now. And it's like, okay, but then you want to break up with him, but you say you love him. Well, you either love him or you don't fucking love him. Like, you make your fucking choice. You either love him or you don't.
Maybe he's rationalizing it in that, like, okay, she's like a live-in girlfriend, and that's how he's thinking.
Like, maybe he's paying
sugaring
for,
her.
Like, paying
like
for the
you don't
rent.
have to pay for rent or whatever. But, like, that's still not the arrangement nor the agreement. I don't know. Every kind of like FinDom situation is different. It depends on the arrangement that you make. It's person to person. So this whole situation's very weird. It sounds like also, you know, we've read like a story or two before in the past where the guy was like testing the girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To see if they're worthy.
Yeah.
It sounds almost adjacent to that. Like, why are you having your sugar baby meet your parents? Why do you live together? Are you really looking for a wife? You can have a marriage arrangement also, a la 90 Day Fiance. That exists. It sounds like they both are just in avenues of not.
Even though this isn't
they have the right idea, but the wrong one.
Even though this isn't an Am I the Asshole, I'm still going to say everyone sucks here. Like,
everyone sucks here.
Like, you know, he sucks because he's not doing what he said he would do. That's fucking stupid. Like, don't do something and then don't say you're going to do something and then don't do it.
Yeah.
Then she sucks just because, like, not because of sugar daddy shit, but because she has now allowed it to become this relationship. And, you know, she's met his family and she's in love with him and all this stuff. And it's like, okay, well, it evolved into something that now it is a relationship. So decide, what do you want? Do you want a boyfriend or do you want a fucking sugar daddy? Like, end it or don't end it. But, like, I feel like
or keep it, live with him, love him, whatever, and get another sugar daddy.
Dun, dun, dun.
Options.
Dun, dun, dun.
Options.
We need to get Sushie to write these responses to these people. So
I know.
Options.
God damn.
That's how you have the best of both worlds, lady.
Yeah.
Stay there, love him, whatever, be his girlfriend, and then get a real sugar daddy. And he can't be mad.
Yeah.
You can't be mad at that.
No.
You can't be mad if you're not buying me shit.
Right.
I gotta get my other sugar daddy to buy me shit.
Right. She still needs a car.
Between the two of you, how many sugar daddies do you think you guys got?
I'm
6,
too
7
mouthy
apiece?
to be a sugar baby. I'm not the right material.
I feel like
I'm more of a FinDom myself, you know?
I don't know. I feel like living in New York, you got like 8 or 9 just clawing at the bit over there. And
yeah. I live in this glorious mansion in Queens.
With your fancy Apple Macintosh and your floating toaster screensaver.
And you're and you're fucking run over by a train sun hat.
It's a brunch hat. There's a difference.
It's a brunch hat. Okay.
Brunch hat. Rest in peace, brunch hat.
But if you're looking for someone to call you stupid while you hand them over money, I'm your girl.
Okay, but this is the business venture that I want. Instead of OnlyFans, where we cater to you by providing body shots and nice conversation, I say we start the bully Patreon, where you pay me $20 a month and I tell you what a piece of shit you are every fucking day.
Absolutely. Yeah. If that arrangement sounds great to you, I'm your girl.
Just like a good morning text, like, good morning, hi. I hope that you know that you're still
alive.
Remember, you'll amount to nothing.
Remember that I still fucking hate you, and so does everyone else.
Give me your money.
Remember that you have to literally pay a woman to get her to talk to you.
And she still doesn't want to do it.
Oh my God. Okay.
Can I do it?
No. No, because you have to wear like a corset while you're doing it.
How are they going to know?
Well, you got to take a picture and be like, you see this, you can have this, but you're a piece of shit, so you can't have it.
See, Sam gets it.
We would be good. Like, it's like virtual dominatrix. Oh my God. Can we be the financial ones where we're like, give me your fucking bank account and then I'll allow you?
That's my dream job.
Oh my God. Okay, look. I'm down.
Did I
for
ever
this.
tell you I worked with a dominatrix? Did I ever tell you that?
No.
No.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so this minisode is gonna be long. So I'm a bartender, which I've mentioned a few times, and one of the women that I used to work with she's very similar to me. Basically, I am the little version of her. Like, I see myself growing up to be this woman. She's my hero. She's just amazing. I don't want to dox her or anything, but she's amazing. Yeah. And she's a very strong personality. Let's just call it that. I'm just the baby version of her. So she was telling me that she recognized someone at the bar, and I was like, oh, okay, well, we've both been bartending. Well, she's been bartending for like 32 years or something like that. So it's obvious that she's going to see an old patron or two, right? I mean, I see people I've served in different bars all the time. And she was like, I recognize this guy, but I didn't know where. I didn't know why. I didn't know if he was like a bar regular or other. And I was like, what do you mean other? She was like, well, I used to be a dominatrix. And I was like, ma'am! And she was like... She grabbed his credit card and confirmed that it was like an old client of hers.
Oh, wow.
Like, she saw the tab name or something.
Like, oh man, I used to step on
and
this
then the guy
balls.
recognized her also in a way, but they just like pretended it didn't happen. And I was like, I need details. She was like, well, I would just like stand on his neck with stilettos. It wasn't anything crazy. And I was like, what? What? You are my hero.
I could be that for
I could be that.
Someone out there. Except no physical contact.
Yeah.
Just virtual verbal harassment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That is really the job for us.
I'm just gonna make a fake account and just anytime they ask for pictures, I'll Google something.
Let me
chop off the face and send them.
Let me cyberbully you for money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a whole genre for that, though.
Oh my God. I'm pretty sure I looked that up one time and then my internet went out. So maybe that was
that was a sign.
You don't remember that?
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
When we were looking at that one I was looking at this one girl's Patreon because she basically does that. And I was like, oh my God, that could be me. I could do that. I could offer bullying sessions. But then my internet went out.
It's really where our skills lie.
For real.
Yeah. Well,
somebody contact me about that.
You guys want FinDoms? You got 2 right here.
You need to make your own.
Oh, you all right there?
I'm just losing my
You
voice.
piece of shit.
Give me your
that's
wallet.
Just a little sample. That'll be $20 for everybody listening.
Well, this was a fun minisode.
This was a fun minisode, yes. I think I like these minisodes because we get to ramble a little bit about other things, and we still get to hear stories, but we get to talk about how they relate to our lives a little bit more. So that's kind of fun.
Right.
Get to talk about our dumb Karen stories. I got more shit in my throat.
Yo. All right. Well, while AJ does that,
there's a Patreon for that too, I'm sure.
I'll fucking choke into a mic for you. That's what I said. That's not.
I'm pretty sure you have to provide photos for that. Oh Lord. Okay. Well,
that being said, we'll see you guys this coming Wednesday for a full episode, and let us know what you guys are thinking of our rambling stories of these minisodes. Like, hit us up wherever you do it. I know Sushie's whole squad gonna be fucking in that Discord saying what their opinions are. So hi, Sushi Squad.
Yep. That's right.
So,
in my Discord server, we talk about it when the episodes drop.
Hell yeah.
It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Gals.
Hi.
Everybody.
So that being said, it's still a pandemic. Continue to wear a mask. Black lives still fucking matter. And
don't be a Karen.
Don't be a Karen.
Goodbye.
See you Wednesday. Bye.